opponents try to say, and partially true, that the council president was responsible for that. Then I think they went to Councilman Beasley. This is all according to Chris Sykes, the reporter at the the Irvington Herald. He said, well, we were all supporting Wayne at the time. Wayne would have got but I don't have the final say. And he was running for re-election too, as well as Lebby Jones. So, and I never asked. None of them ever said, and they can't say, because I asked them not to go ahead and vote for the budget.
But it became a political football.
Yeah, well, not a football. They just decided not to do nothing.
Well, they wanted to toss it back to you.
Yeah, but
the reality, though.
They have the say.
When it comes down to the person when it comes down to the person who is not very astute to knowing exactly what is going on in that situation, they would be premised to believe that it's still the mayor's fault.
Well, but
what could you have done differently?
No. We couldn't have done anything differently under a set of circumstances. We told people the truth. We presented the budget. We presented the budget on time when the city council approved it. At that time, when they approved it, that's when we mail it. We can't even, till they authorize the budget, we can't send the tax bills. And so many people believe that the council president was waiting, and then when they got that threatening letter from the state, and listen, maybe they were waiting to cut the budget.
And let's look at it from the perspective.
But they never cut it.
The council member Beasley admitted that it was a situation that they did have control over, and that's the way they handled it.
Yeah, so it was not in my hands to handle it.
Okay. So moving forward and thinking about what's really happening now, there's a tremendous burden. Recently, we heard the state has been downgraded in its
bond rating.
Your neighbor, Newark, is in a tremendous deficit when it comes down to its budget. How are you going to be able to manage doing what you do without raising taxes?
No, I think we can stabilize taxes, and part of the reason is we bring new revenues. So I talked to you about the abandoned projects that are moving forward. Apartment buildings on 18th Avenue, apartment buildings on Myrtle Avenue. There'll be some new development coming in that East Ward. So that's the challenge, and I've demonstrated we can do that. When I started Grove Street and Springfield Avenue with vacant lots, my opponent complained that it took a guy to court who owns the car wash there, but he forgot to mention that car wash was vacant for 15 years until I got them to do that project. So, I have a demonstrated track record. We sold the hospital. I mean, we do not own it anymore.
And let's talk about that. I really want to emphasize many of the areas that a number of people, especially who are watching, are not really aware of the fact there has been a tremendous undertaking in relationship to how much you sold it for. But what's the return on the investment?
Well, long term, I mean, we're talking about a project that could bring $100 million to the city. I mean, when you look at the aggregate amount of the cost of construction, the employment created from the construction, the growing rateable that will be, it's a major project in the region, one of the few of that size. That's a 6-acre site. So it's a major development project for the city, and will enhance people's shrinking property values because you bought something near there that has some tremendous value. Remember, that piece of property never paid a dime in real estate taxes while it was a hospital, not one dime.
And looking at it as it exists now, those opportunities are going to be able to build the relationship that's necessary to move Irvington forward. When we talk about moving, it's a major hub. Talk about the reality behind how, with the disciplines building from itself and you getting the support that you need, where Irvington can be more of a benefit to New Jersey.
Well, we're a very strategic location. I just had some people here from Nigeria this week looking at us. I've had people come here from China, and our landmass is, particularly with the decline in property values, is very attractive to people. We're 7 minutes from Newark International Airport. We have an express bus that takes you into Midtown Manhattan in 30 minutes. I mean, we're accessible to any part of the region. When you take a place like a block, like Burnett Barbecue, where Burnett Barbecue is located at, with Dollar General the Avenue. Yeah. So what happens is that Dollar General didn't do urban stores. That experiment in Irvington is going to increase their investment in other places. Why do you think Dollar Tree, who does mostly rim cities like Union, is putting a store on Springfield Avenue now? They said, well, wait a minute, if Dollar General put a store in Irvington and they're doing well,
Competitive.
yeah, oh yeah, they
businesses.
look at the, wow, this is a diamond in the rough. So I look at the store coming up over there on Springfield Avenue, and you'll see other things. When we did the IHOP project, I mean, now you have different kinds of restaurants looking at us in a different way now. The employment created from that, and then she grew to the point where she's a partner on the hospital project, Adina Bayou. So this is the kind of place Irvington is. Second busiest bus terminal in the state. 13,000 people come through it every day. So the potential for growth is there. And so, but it's not guesswork. See, other people will have together. They can talk about, what but they've not ever brought $1 million of any type to the city. They've never negotiated a redevelopment agreement with anybody. And so people know this mayor, know that we're fair and honest, that we try to bring things to the community that are new and different. And so we're just moving ahead. And so, if the voters will allow me an opportunity for a fourth term, they'll see, because I already proved it. When the economy wasn't bad, we had Irvington move. Economy tank, I'm struggling like every other city is struggling. But we know how to get one. We went from selling no abandoned property to selling properties for $100,000 a lot. We grew property value of 44%. Now it's down because the national recession is down. But the growth factor happened when innovation and energy came with a rising market. And so we're about to rise again. Maybe not at the same pace, but, stay tuned.
You're not a negative campaigner,
Mm-hmm.
but you do have a candidate that's saying that they have had experience bringing money into the area that they have leadership control over.
Who?
Well, Tony Voss says that he
It's
has
public
brought-
money. Public money.
What do you
Yeah, that taxpayers' money. The money spent on the football field, which is it's great for the kids, but only so many kids use the athletic field, and I know they want to graduate on it so that all the kids can use it. But at the end of the day, if we look at our test scores, we're at the bottom percentile. I mean, probably 5% of the bottom of the percentile. That's not a good barometer of where we are in the future. And I love our kids, and I've never not supported the public school system. I've given my hard-earned individual money to help young people, and we've created programs to help young people in the school system. But by and large, we've got to do something different. And you were on the positive. But that's why I'm supporting Frank Bryant, Ken Wall, and Kathy Sutherland, who the scores were better when they were involved. There was some significant signs of progress. Now we seem to be declining.
And looking at it from that perspective, the relationship is a dialogue about moving Irvington forward.
Well, they even tried to steal our slogan.
Well, but thinking about the fact that you want to look across the board.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of need of change, and people have exposed themselves that they're not really giving their strong effort towards showing that Irvington can be a destination city,
Mm-hmm.
that Irvington can be a thriving metropolis,
Mm-hmm.
that Irvington is more than just a suburban area that has a hardship and can't control it.
Mm-hmm. No, we've brought things here. We have a demonstrated track record of bringing things here. We got hit by a national recession like every major city, and our people got hit. And that's why at the end of the day, we're trying some innovations like using eminent domain to help keep people in their homes. These are not easy fights, but you take them on because you're not, listen, you try to do what you can do that's right to benefit the people, and you deal with the struggles that come along with it.
Well, we really appreciate your time.
Mhm.
We certainly want to continue to watch what you're doing. One last point,
Mhm.
you're going to be recognized as Mayor of the Year.
Yes, for my service, I've had the pleasure of learning and also working with mayors on common problems that affect us with the federal and state government. So the two major organizations of mayors I've had the pleasure of leading in this state. One is the New Jersey Urban Mayors Association, where cities like Irvington and larger than us, like Newark, Jersey City, and others, I've had the opportunity to be their president for a number of years, just transitioned the leadership over to the mayor of Perth Amboy. And now I am the president of the entire New Jersey Conference of Mayors. And as in my tenure, I was selected as Mayor of the Year. So I'm delighted to have had that experience, and it all benefits Irving